speaker today, talking on the power of thought, our own Laughmeister, guide, friend, Reverend Tim Peterson.
Good morning. It really is good to see you out today. I came out of a heated parking and I saw the temperature in my car. Just plugged. When I got out of the car today, I felt cold. But you know, that's momentary. Because we know that it's here for a while, we'll be here forever. But what is here forever is the idea of true thought, pure thought of love, of harmony, of joy, of creativity, of passion, of purpose, because that's what we want in life and that's what we choose in life. Please join with me in an opening spiritual line treatment. It's our form of affirmative prayer. It's not begging or pleading for anything outside of ourselves, but recognizing that we have everything within ourselves to create the life that we want. So I just invite you just to close your eyes, just get centered in this moment, take a few deep breaths, and just let my words become your words if they fit. This is what I know to be true. That there is one power, one truth, one love, one law that moves through and expresses as me and as each person here. It is the individual being manifest as the one, as the unified whole. I know that we are creative in whatever we thought, in whatever we think. And whatever we think manifests itself in our lives. Whatever we hold to be true manifests itself in our lives. I know that we have the power to change our thoughts, to change our beliefs, to change our ideas of what life is and what life could be. To create a brand new experience, a brand new life, a brand new moment. So today I let go. I let go of anything that has stopped me from moving beyond my old preconceived ideas of what life could be. Today I think with a new thought, with a new idea, with that creative thought that moves aside all those negative ideas of what could possibly happen to the truth of the possibilities of life. That I can have anything. I can be anything. Today I choose love. Today I choose peace. Today I choose harmony because I know that each moment is a choice. I remind myself always to choose wisely. With gratitude, I release this. I let it be so. Last week I spoke of God and our understanding of God. But more to the point of my understanding of God and how my understanding of God changed when I did. I ended last week with a quote from Emma Curtis Hopkins. Speak the word boldly that is given you to utter. And to me it said, if you know truth, then it is incumbent upon you to speak it. But if you cower, if you're afraid of what people might say about the words that are coming out of your mouth, then you are living life backwards. Emerson said, God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. I have great respect for those people who speak their truth, even if it's not something that I believe. I have great respect for those Mormon missionaries that go out when they're 19 years old for 2 years, take 2 years out of their lives and go out and knocking on doors. They have it rejected 99% of the time and still going forward. I have great respect for those 2x2s And for those who don't know what they are, they're two couples that go home to home, church to church, telling you their truth. They came to the center in Winnipeg when I was the minister there. And they came in and sat in the front row. And as soon as I started to speak, they each had a Bible in their hand, and I thought, oh good, this is going to be fun. As soon as I began to speak, they all got up and put their Bibles to their hair. So I found out what a Bible thumper was. That's the truth. That's what they did. And I have great respect for them. I didn't particularly care for them in that moment because they freaked me right out. But I have great respect for them. I have great respect for those Jehovah's Witnesses who stand on the street corners handing out Watchtower magazines, watching people walk away and throw them away, and they're half a block away, and still having the authority and still having the clarity of wanting to help somebody. Because they're just coming from a place of love and a place of support. And I had to really understand that, because I was really starting to get upset at people trying to push their stuff on me. Until I got to realize that all they were doing was loving me in their own way. And once that happened, once I got that idea, once I got that new thought in, all those old thoughts of any fear or anxiety or anger or resentment vanished. It was no longer there. They were no longer the truth. There's a faith in these people that I've not seen in a lot of people. How could someone walk up to someone and just say, I want to save you? They were speaking their word boldly that was given them to utter. Today's talk is the power of thought. But the power of thought goes beyond the idea of thought into the power of our word and what we are speaking into our life. Power is at work when we put our deep feelings into what we know to be true or what we are conscious of. And if you've been upset at something and you've been thinking about something that has upset you, then you need to shift your thinking, to change your thinking, to move it into something else, something the opposite of what that is, in order to create something new in your life. If we believe that we are diseased, we have to make that shift. We have to affirm to ourselves and speak to ourselves through our word that I do not believe in sickness, I believe in health. I do not believe in misfortune, that misfortune has any power over me, because I believe in prosperity and success. We have to negate that which we don't want and embody that which we do. Many times I don't think we understand what we're saying. But what we are saying is the things that we're really thinking. To do something different, to have a different experience, you must do things differently. You must choose a different life. Because life is a choice, and all life is a choice. Now, you may not believe that all life is a choice. And that is your choice. We use words to express to others how we're feeling. And the words that were spoken to me this morning about living in this country, in this beautiful weather, was quite remarkable when I walked outside. How many complained about the weather today? One. Thank you, Trish, for being honest. And so, you know, it is. We say things, and they pop out of our mouth without us even thinking about them. I am so grateful to be in this country. Yes. I am so blessed to be here. And we have a little bit of cold. And it's going to go. And the sun's going to come out, and the warmth is going to come back, and the flowers are going to grow. And we're going to sit in June and July going, man, this is great. We live in a great country, and we just have to affirm that and keep affirming it, and knowing that's the truth because it's the truth of our life. There's so many countries right now that are going into despair and disharmony. The wars that are happening, the fear that's happening all over the world. We live in a beautiful place. And we just need to keep affirming that and keep knowing that. And once we affirm that and know that for ourselves, we can easily know it for someone else. We can see our brothers and sisters over in Syria and Iran and Iraq and know that same truth for them. That this just doesn't have to be that way. It can be changed. And all that needs to be changed is one thought. One simple thought. We're powerful beyond measure, and yet we hold ourselves back to that measure that we thought that we were. And as long as we hold ourselves back to what we thought we were, we're always going to be that. We'll never have room to grow. Words have power, and speaking those words with authority have a greater power. So if you want to begin change, notice the words that are coming out of your mouth. Are they words of change, or are they words of stagnation? And if you really want to change your life, then notice the words or the group of words that are coming out of your mouth. And then begin to use those words that you want in your life. There's been a lie perpetuated over the years that sticks and stones may break my bones, but names can never hurt me. Or words can never hurt me, and then they can. That's a lie. Words spoken enough times create an energy of belief. So what kind of an energy do you want today? If we've told ourselves enough times that we are stupid, we get to be that which we thought we were. And until we change that idea, we're still going to be living that old thought. What kind of an energy do you want throughout your life today? That's our thought. As I was writing this, I was thinking about Dr. Sue Rubin. And so I had to phone her last night. And I said, I was thinking about you, and I was thinking there's only one power, and that power is love, and that power is love, my power right now. And she said, amen. But there is only one power, and that power is love, and that power is my power right now. Everybody say that. There's only one power. And that power is love. And that power is my power right now. There's only one power. That power is peace. And that power is my power right now. There's only one power. And yet we seem to think that there's multiple powers going on, pulling us in all directions. And as long as we think that, we get to be right. And we let those things, those events, those situations pull us in different directions. And create for us something new, something old. Something that maybe it's always been. And we just didn't know it was there until we found that it was there. I remember walking one time and my foot hurt. But I kept walking, and there was still something there. I mean, it started really hurting me. And I kept walking. Until finally I couldn't take it anymore, and I took off my shoe and took up the little pebble that was in it. But how often do we walk with a pebble and just think, well, it's just part of life? It's not. We can take off our shoes, we can take the pebble off, and put back our shoes, and we can walk without pain. We just have to do it. We have to start it. We have to believe it. We have to begin it. Now, it's easy to say when you're not in pain to do that. I'd love to stand up here and say to you that, you know, my life is perfect, and I'm just going to go jogging as soon as I get out of here today, but I'm not. And you know that. But it doesn't stop me from hoping and knowing and creating a different idea of what I could do yesterday. We have the authority in our lives to change our lives. And we give ourselves that authority. It's not something out there. It's not God that gives us the authority. We have that authority from the very beginning. To change whatever life we want, to be whatever we want to be. So my agreement with Spirit is God is, I am. Love is, I am. Peace is, I am. And to declare that acceptance is a covenant that I've made. It's an agreement with what I believe life could be. So speak statements that resonate with your deep-held belief and intentions. What do you want? And I've said before, what do you want? People tell me what they don't want. Well, I don't want this, or I don't want this, or I don't want this. I don't care what you don't want. I want to know what you want. And so does Spirit want to know what you want. Because Spirit's not out there, Spirit's within you. And once you declare within yourself, then something happens, and something starts to grow. And something starts to recreate itself. Something that you knew from the very beginning that you may have forgotten over life. Over those sticks and stones. Those names that will never hurt you. What we really need to do in this whole thing is to have what Danny just sang about, and have that crystal clear intention about what we want in life. But sometimes we have affirmations of doubt. We sometimes get fuzzy on what we think we really want. Or we think that what we really want is just too big, or it's too far away. Or we can't quite picture ourselves in that way we want to see ourselves. And once we have those doubts, that's the affirmation of doubt. People think that affirmations are always positive, and they're not. It's what we affirm all the time. It's what we affirm daily, constantly. So the question is, what do you want? And are you willing to affirm it? Are you willing to hold that truth to yourself? Are you willing to express it to somebody else? We did a ceremony last Sunday with some flash paper. And you were asked to let go of something you wanted to release and then accept something that you wanted to bring into your lives. We did it with the affirmation that that was then and this is now. And then you were asked to declare what you were wanting in your life to at least one other person. And I saw many of you do that. I just don't know how you did it. Did you do it with the intention that this person could help me, knowing this truth for me? Or did you whisper it to them, hoping they might not fully hear it? I found in my early years, and to be truthful, some of my later years, I've taken seminars and workshops, that I would hold back from letting people in. I would pretend to let someone in, but in reality, I would loathe someone seeing me as vulnerable or not in control. So I would tell half the truths. I would have holdbacks. Never really telling exactly what I was feeling or exactly what I was thinking. And in those early days, I didn't even know if I knew what I wanted. If I would say what I wanted, if I would hold those ideas that you can never have this, who are you kidding? And I didn't want anybody else to do that to me, but I've been doing that to myself all my life. Who are you kidding? I was kidding me. But once we get out of that idea we have to kid somebody, once we get out of that idea that we have to be more than we thought that we could be, we get to create a new life. I was afraid to tell somebody what I really wanted. How on earth could I be expected to tell someone else when I didn't believe myself? When I didn't really know it. So we get kind of a limbo of thought. But the good news is that which keeps you in limbo is the same thing that can move you through it. It's that same thought, it's that same idea, it's that same energy, it's that same power. So here's my new thought for today. And it's a new thought that I've known for years. I've taught this new thought, I've used this new thought for years, but I've a greater clarity about it as of last night. I had an epiphany. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter how big it is or how little the consequences might be. It doesn't matter. You will never have it unless you make room for it. Unless you're ready, willing, and able to let go of whatever blockages you have or whatever old thought you have, you are never on earth going to accept that new thought. You're never going to accept a new idea within you. You've got to make room for it. Have you ever eaten a turkey dinner and just said, I can't eat another bite?
Yep. Thank you.
And in this pie.
And then there's pie. But I'll tell you, it gets really uncomfortable about that halfway through the pie.
Yeah.
Because we haven't made room. We've got to make room in our lives. We've got to make room for something else, something greater. If we want something greater, if we don't, live your life. But if you want a greater prosperity, you've got to get rid of that idea of lack. If you want a greater idea of health in your life, you've got to get rid of that idea of disease, that you were born with disease, that you were born to die. We have to start affirming that we're born to live. And that we're born to live fully, wholly and completely. And we know that life never stops. We know that. We know that. That life is ongoing. What we want needs to be spoken clearly and with increased emotions. There's metaphysicians like Plato and Aristotle and Spinoza and Immanuel Kant, and each took an old thought and made a new thought out of it. And then they spoke about it. They rocked the boat. There were literary giants like Shakespeare and Walt Whitman, and each took a thought, manifested itself into a new type of expression. And much of it is seen as new thought today. Shakespeare said, there are many more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. There are biblical teachings that absolutely support this vision of new thought. Their new thought, I think all new thought comes out of the Bible, actually. Because I think truth is truth, and it doesn't matter where you find it.
Yeah.
But if we're so afraid of it, if we're so afraid to open a book, open the boogie book, then how can we ever accept to get anything out of it? The Bible teaches that life never dies, it changes. In the Bible it says the seed dies to become a beautiful plant. The energy is then manifested into the new seed that grows something else and produces new seeds. The seed surrenders its identity to become the plant. The plant bears the fruit, which produces more seed. That's the circle of life. It's continuing, it's ongoing. Jesus said this in John chapter 24. Unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it abides alone. But if it dies, it brings forth much fruit. That's all he's saying. February's coming up. So is Groundhog Day. Puxatawny Phil will say that it's going to be an early spring or 6 more weeks of winter. What do you want?
I'm good with both.
We can make whatever we want. We can make it be whatever we want. We're powerful beyond measure. I love that movie, Groundhog Day, where Bill Murray played that weatherman who was just miserable. And he died 1,000 deaths, 1,000,000 deaths. Always woke up to that Sonny and Cher song. And as he kept going, as he kept dying, he found himself to be invincible. And he just wanted to do bad things, weird things. Until he got to a point where he said, I'm tired of doing this, I want to live a different life. I want to live a greater life. So he said, if I'm going to be here forever, I might as well make the best of it. I might as well start to enjoy my life and start to learn from my life. And so he did that. If we're going to be here for eternity, which we are, let's make it a good eternity. Let's make it that which we want it to be.
Yes.
We have the authority. We have the authority in life to create the life that we want. Who wants a new life?
Yeah.
In order to have a new life, we have to have a new thought. Who wants a new thought?
Yes.
Yeah.
In order to have a new thought, we've got to get rid of the old thought. Who wants to get rid of the old thought? Who wants to begin it today?
Yes.
There's one power.
One power.
That power is love. That power is my power right now.
That power is my power right now.
There's only one power.
There's only one power.
That power is change.
That power is
And
change.
that power is my power right now.
That power is my power right now.
That's all I got to say on this.